All right, hi everybody. This is Char Booth, and also Tiffany Travis is on the call, and we're here with the wonderful Lucy Greco, who's going to be helping us do an accessibility/usability review of our draft Teaching with Technology Canvas site. So if Lucy could please go ahead and give herself a brief introduction and tell a little bit about the type of work she does and what she's going to do for us today, that would be awesome, and then we'll just go ahead and jump into the Canvas site accessibility review.
Hello, I am an accessibility usability expert, and that means that I am an individual who is blind that does usability testing for people wanting to make sure that websites are accessible. I work for UC Berkeley, and I primarily do website testing for them on products and projects that they're doing. So I have a lot of experience in the educational educational department. So this will be my first review of a Canvas site. Typically when I review a website, I like to do it with people who've created the site and who've done some development work on it, because I want to be the person running a screen reader, and then while I'm running the screen reader, I expect the people working with me to take notes on the good and bad points that we find, and we will talk through the process as we're going to show you how we're doing this. I will come up with issues that I find or points that are done well, and I expect Char and Tiffany to be taking notes as we go. What I always do is I ask somebody before we do a site review to come up with a task list of tasks that they want to accomplish during the site. And we use those tasks because otherwise looking at every single element on a website really isn't an effective way of testing how it works. We want to see if a person can actually get tasks that need to be done on that site completed. So we do look at the website as a whole, but we look at it as a tool that's being used to accomplish the tasks that you created. So Char, do you want to read those through, or do we just want to go through them one at a time a little later?
Sure. I'll go ahead and read them through because I think it's useful for people to know what you're going to be kind of like setting out to do one by one. So the 4 tasks that we came up with for Lucy to investigate on the site are: 1, navigate to the week's 1 and 2 module and review the content of the Diffusion of Innovation infographic. So that's the first task. The second task is going to be post a response in the discussions area to the accessibility test reflection item. Number 3 is going to be access and read the article entitled Foundations of Educational Theory for Online Learning by Muhammad Ali. And then 4, locate the badges page and state the criteria of the General Awesomeness badge. And those are our 4 tasks for Lucy to try to complete today in our in our site.
Okay, so again, those tasks are things we have to keep in mind as we're going through the site. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a general basically first hit on the site, what a user is going to find. I have already registered with Canvas and have gone through this process. I didn't put that as part of this review because it's not something that you, Char, or Tiffany can actually impact.
How was it though?
It was good. It was very good. I was a little disappointed about the fact that focus wasn't drawn to those fields very easily. So I had to do some hunt and peck throughout the page to find where to actually enter my account name. And something you may have impact over is when you send the invitation email, it's not clear that a person has to actually accept the invitation on the page. It says you should register.
Tiffany Ann says, love this method of testing, ...
That's awesome. Great. So what just happened is that Jaws read a side comment that Tiffany made to Lucy and I, which was a very positive comment. And yes, Tiffany, we also love.
We also love it.
We love Jaws. Jaws tells all. Anyway.
I'm glad I didn't say anything off kilter.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Anyway, well, so Lucy, question.
Okay, so
What? Okay, go ahead.
so let me finish that point. So
Mm-hmm.
in the email it says you need to register, and on that first page you're brought to when you link to it, it doesn't say anything about register. It says accept or decline.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's just a wording thing, and that again may be something you can't control.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's, I don't know if you can or you can't, or talk to your administrators about that.
Okay. Well, I can check in. I mean, and also I might be able to put like a supplementary message. The way I invited you didn't allow me to include any text like "Welcome to the site."
Exactly.
But if I can, I could say, please go through this process to register, I guess.
Exactly.
Okay.
So the first thing a person needs to do is accept, just as the note.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I mean, that worked really well. It was fine. All right, so what I tend to do at this point now, and I'm going to do for both of you, is I'm going to read the site at the top, from the top of the screen down, just to
Mm-hmm.
give you how a person kind of comes to the site and tries to explore.
Okay.
To give you a little bit of background and parameters, I'm using JAWS 14.0, the most recent version,
Okay.
and I'm using Internet Explorer. I can work with Firefox as well if we wanted to do further testing later on down the road. But Internet Explorer is my, the primary one I use because blind people are still at about 60 to 70% of them using Internet Explorer,
Oh, okay.
and it's
Wow.
definitely around 60% of the people who use JAWS for Windows as well.
Okay.
Those statistics change on a monthly basis. To give some basic background to people who've never seen a screen reader work before, there are going to be times lost and confused as to where I am on the page. A screen reader reads the page left. All right, so a screen reader reads the screen left to right and down, and a typical typical web page, when you do that, when you think about it, it has the left nav, the top, the right nav. If it read through a page left to right and down, you'd get gibberish because everything would be merged into one big hunk, and you'd get parts of the center content mixed in with the left and so forth. So what the software does is it takes the information in the source code, tries to determine how the source code wants that information to be read, what order, and then renders it into a virtual buffer of memory.
Mm.
And that virtual buffer is somewhat related to what's on the screen, but you can't actually see where I am on the page. So the two of you aren't missing anything by not seeing the interaction, because what's going to happen here is the screen reader is going to be reading off that virtual buffer, and only when I do things like interact with forms and interact with controls am I actually live on a web page.
Hmm.
So
Wow.
for the people watching the video, you might start wondering, where is she seeing that? That's because I'm not seeing it. I'm actually interacting directly with the source code in memory and not the actual rendering of the page. Okay, so that's my typical disclaimer that I give at the beginning of every presentation. So now I'm going to start at the top of the page and just say, read from here on until I get tired of hearing it, and we'll stop it.
Okay.
All right.
Logout link. Logout link.
So the command I just gave, just so both of you know, is Control Home. And Control Home is supposed to bring me to the top of the page. And you'll note that the thing I'm being brought to is
Logout link.
Logout.
Mm.
So that is the very first thing in the source code.
That's not good.
God.
Well, actually, it's a very important one that you want to find very easily. If it's consistent throughout your site that way, that might be a good thing. So
Really?
it's something, it's the hardest thing sometimes to find. Is it
Huh.
log out, is it sign out? But I mean, if it's consistently in the same place, it's going to be a link that you're always going to want to find at some point in time.
Okay.
Unless you're like me and you just close web pages instead of logging out. So, I'm not going to say it's bad or not, but typically in the position I'm at right now, should be a page header.
Okay.
So I'm going to start reading from this point on.
Logout link. Logout link. Tab. Help link. Tab. Courses link. Courses link. Courses link. Tab. Immersion Teaching with Technology 2013 enrolled as student link.
Okay, so
Escape.
now remember, I've not been here because I tend to come here cold, so you get the real cold screen reader experience.
Okay.
Let me just check a few things.
Off. On. Immersion. Same page link. Skip the immersion teaching with technology 20 for immersion teaching.
Okay. So, as an advanced troubleshooter, I realized that this program or this website might have the ability to mock a program, and this is not something that a intermediate or beginning screen reader user would know how to do. So what I did was I turned off the ability to recognize an application mode and then turned it back on again, and it seems to have cleared the problem. And I only know this because actually when I finished registering, I had to do that once already.
Immersion teaching with
So,
technology
so
20.
Lucy, can you unpack that for us a little bit about what this like ability to be recognized as a program might entail or might mean for the bigger functionality of the site?
So what this means is they're using advanced programming in this, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
They're using something called, and I'm only guessing at this point, I haven't looked at the source code to determine this or not, but they're probably using something called ARIA, Accessible Rich Internet Content.
Okay.
And it's allowing people to create, ARIA allows people to create websites that can mimic applications.
Mm-hmm.
So it will allow you to do things like drag and drop. It will allow you to do
Yeah.
dynamic updating on the page, so forth. What that does is it tells the screen reader, hey, I'm not really a website. I'm an application, and you should start behaving with me as if you're in an application, not a website. So common website commands all of a sudden get turned off, like the ability to jump to headings or links, or the ability to go to the top of the page or the bottom of the page. And what I've basically done was by turning off the virtual cursor, turning it back on again, I've kind of given the opportunity for the screen reader to kind of reset and say, okay, this is a web page, and it hasn't yet gotten that command and that understanding that it's in an application. And this is just me guessing that that's what's going on the page, just because of the fact that I was able to fix the problem very quickly and easily. Turns out I wasn't actually at the top of the page when I was at logout. Only hitting Control Home was at the top of the page because it was trapping me within that logout control. So, very bizarre and very strange.
Okay, so the first red flag would then be that Canvas has this, program slash website confusion, and that's what trapped you. Not having turned off that setting in JAWS is what trapped you in the site at the logout point.
Exactly, and I think the way to do this is I'm going to need to go through the source code, and I'll do this offline. I'll go through the source code and find out if it's signaling that. It probably needs to signal that at some point in time throughout the course, but does it need to signal it on the home page? No, and I'll figure out if it is signaling it too soon or if it's appropriately signaling it.
Okay, because that is definitely that's an upper Canvas architecture administrative problem.
Exactly.
And I can check. I mean, any and all of this, I can check in with the kind of tech support people about. They're really responsive. So if they haven't, if they haven't already heard that issue, I will certainly report it to them.
Exactly, and I mean the technical term to tell them is I found myself in a keyboard trap.
Got it. Keyboard trap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Immersion teaching with technology 2013.
So there we go. We actually have the course title as the heading of the page. So now I'm just going to read to the bottom.
Immersion teaching with technology 2013. Same page link. Skip the content. Link my dashboard list of 5 items. Link Greco at berkeley.edu. Link inbox. Link settings. Link logout. Link help list and main navigation. Navigation region. Link courses. Customize my courses list of 2 items. Link immersion teaching with technology 2013. Enrolled as student. Link view all courses. 1 list and link assignments. Link grades. Link calendar main navigation region TwT 2013 context navigation region list of 10 items. Link home. Link discussions. Link modules. Link assignments. Link people. Link pages. Link files. Link syllabus. Link conferences. Link collaborations list and context navigation region and complementary information heading level 3 common pages list of 6 items. Link front page. Link week 5 reflect overview. Link week 4 engage overview. Link week 3 structure overview. Link commitment to accessibility. Link more list and heading level 3 recent changes list of 4 items. Link front page. Link diffusion of innovation infographic test. Link badges. Link more list and heading level 3 all pages list of 1 items. Link show all list and heading level 3 recent feed.
Okay, so again, I think we've heard enough there. And I have some definite proof now that this page is using ARIA. You heard throughout the page there where it kept saying things like navigation region, content region, so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Those are ARIA landmarks that we were hearing. I'm going to bring up a list of them for the viewing people
Okay.
so that they can take a look at what I'm hearing, and then I'll go through them for the two of you.
Document
Okay.
regions dialog. Regions preview. Main.
So I've now brought up a dialog that shows a tree of all the different regions, and we've got the main region,
Content information.
content information.
Main. Breadcrumbs navigation.
Oh, sorry, I'm at the bottom.
Home. Main navigation.
So main navigation. So somebody tried to label an area as navigation, and then they put an additional navigation. So that region is called main navigation. So it's the navigation for the main navigation. What the? Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
Context navigation.
Context navigation. So is there really two forms of navigation on this site?
Well, yes, there is.
Okay. So it is important then.
Yes. So I think the context navigation is basically like a dynamic list of common pages, recent changes, and that is shown over on the right. And then the core kind of like background navigation for the course components is what you're hearing as, I think, main navigation, and that's listed on the left of the page. Yeah.
So what you're seeing here is the ability now for me to actually jump through these different parts of the page through using these higher coding elements, these regions. So I can easily get to that. If I know that something I want is in one of those regions, I can easily jump to it very quickly and very effectively. So I'm just going to review the rest of them for you.
Complementary information.
Complementary information, that's usually where people put things like announcements and so forth.
Breadcrumbs navigation.
Breadcrumbs navigation, very important region, of course, because that's telling a person what part of the page they're on.
Main.
And the main.
Content information.
Content information. Now, something I wonder about Canvas is these particular regions, does it give you any kind of information about where you're inserting content? So
You mean as a site developer, or?
Yeah, as a site developer. So if you're trying to put things into the complementary area, the complementary region,
Mm-hmm.
do you have any way of knowing what you're posting is going in there?
It's automatically, all of the complementary navigation areas are automatically updated. We have no real volition over what those show. So common pages, it's using analytics to identify what common pages are, and those are being listed. Then recent changes, those are being fed by what we as site developers do. And then you also have all pages. So there's a link and the ability to show every single page within the entire site. So that all pages is the only one that has any interactivity or any ability for the user to determine what's being displayed.
And the only reason I think this is kind of important for an instructor who's creating a Canvas site is so that they can tell a blind person in the class, if you go to the content region or if you go to the navigation region, you can find this link.
Okay.
But it's only one tool. It's not the most important tool. So the next tool we're going to do is we're going to look at your links list.
Escape.
Okay.
Immersion teaching with technology 20. Escape.
Oh, and we just went back into applications mode.
Off. On.
Did you both hear that little pop that the screen reader made as I dropped out?
Yes.
That was it telling me that I had dropped into technically forms mode, but because I'm not in a form, I realized that was it dropping back out of its little application thing. So I just quickly did my workaround, which was turning the virtual cursor on and off.
Did it drop out because Canvas kind of forced it to do so, or was that like a time delay thing? Like, what happened?
It was because I had actually dismissed the dialog box from JAWS, and JAWS had to say, oh, I need to re-update everything that's on the screen. So it went and got that update command again from the program.
And you said that a typical student wouldn't know to do this necessarily?
Not unless they're a better JAWS user than most.
Okay.
So that's problematic, because it seems like they would be having repeated kind of snags where, what just happened would happen, and they wouldn't realize to switch out of application mode, and they would get stuck in that, they would have the loop again.
I mean, trainers are starting to teach blind people a lot more about how to use ARIA features.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd still have to say it's still so new, and still so many screen readers don't even support it.
Mm.
So I mean, the good thing is I'm using the most recent or screen reader. The bad thing is I'm using the most recent screen reader.
Right.
So, I can support these higher end features, but I also have to be cautious when I support them. So I'm going to quickly go into the links list. I think your links are okay, but when you're testing a site, it's really important to bring up the links list, and there are several free web tools that will let you do this.
Okay.
And for example, the accessibility toolbar for both IE or Firefox, Juicy Studio. Just basically look for accessibility toolbars and you'll find hundreds of them. They all have the ability to view a links list and a headings list and a graphics list. And all that does is make sure that you haven't put a silly title into any of your links, or the alt text for a link is fine. So I'm just going to review those for you really quickly.
No links.
Yes, there are.
Off. On. Link to all courses 1. No links. Tab. View all courses 1. Links list dialog.
There we
Links.
go. Sorry.
Skip the content. My dashboard. Greco Assembly inbox. Settings. Logout. Help. Courses. Immersion Teaching with Technology 2013 enrolled as student.
Okay, so I'm curious about the one that says Emerging Teaching and Enrolled as Student. Would that bring me right back to this very same page?
Yes.
No, bad.
Okay.
Links should never pages should never self-link.
Okay.
And here we're talking about a cognitive disability issue more than anything.
Okay.
But I'm sure you both have done it yourself, where you see a link that says, oh, that's the information I want, and you click on it and it keeps you on the same page.
Oh, yes.
So that's
And so, Lucy, the issue here is that Canvas has, well, it has a structure that is permanently visible that I think is intended to help people enrolled in multiple classes flip between them quickly.
Oh, and I get it. It's probably
Yeah.
part of the breadcrumb.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm also thinking that people who might be using this or taking your class might be creating their own.
Yeah.
So I'm giving them the pointer that it's a bad thing. It's something you can't control, is creating this course.
Sure.
But it's definitely one of our big no-nos on the list. And,
Right.
and if they're creating a site with several other sources, you can use JavaScript that the current page in the breadcrumbs is suppressed.
Okay, awesome.
And
Okay.
frankly, Canvas should know that. They should know that.
Well, it's interesting that there's a university there's probably many universities using Canvas.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Canvas is the fastest growing LMS out there.
It's the fastest growing, but the least length of time installed, I think,
Mm-hmm.
out of most of them. So, for example, when the most recent LMS survey for accessibility was done, Canvas was mentioned but not surveyed.
Okay.
So
View all courses. Assignment. Grade. Calendar. Home.
I'm only checking really quickly here because I think I got, I saw something earlier that concerns me.
Mm.
Home.
I think Home also links to this page, so another same problem. Not only does this page self-link, it probably has two self-links that are different from each other.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
So cognitive load is getting higher.
Discussion.
Okay.
Module. Assigned people. Pages. File. Syllab. Collaborate. Front. Week. Commitment. More. Front. Diffusion. Badget. More. Show all. Canvas. TWC course stream. TwT2013. Seek module. Syllabus. Discussion. FAQ. Cohort. Course. Number into Twitter. 7. Tafini Crab. Number into 20. Expand. 29 Mar. Tafini Crab. 20. Expand.
Okay, so the expand link at the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
is there any way, could you say what you're expanding?
The expand link at the bottom, I believe, is part of the Twitter feed module.
Okay,
And I believe the expand in there would be a load more tweets.
okay. Is there any way to make it say load more tweets instead of expand?
This widget is not editable.
Okay, just checking.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to pick on stuff that you can't
No.
change, but-
I mean, it's better for you to pick on the stuff that we can't change than for us to have a bunch of dangling problems than we can. You know what I'm saying? Like, so.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
the only reason why you'd want it to be what it is, the view more tweets, so forth, is because out of context, just like I am right now, I had to ask, what is expanding? And I'd have to take a lot more steps to figure out if that was what I needed.
Well, you know what the interesting thing is that I'm actually kind of guessing because you're saying bottom of the page expand, and the only expand at the bottom of the page is actually a button that says load more.
Well,
So I think you're getting link text that's not even what's being displayed.
Ooh, that's even a
Yes.
bigger no-no.
Yeah.
Things that are showing on the screen should be identically alt tagged as, so the alt, so this is good. So when you put an alt tag in, at Berkeley we call it the Stanford rule
Mm-hmm.
because Berkeley likes to pick on Stanford. So
Go Bears.
when we had started our original web accessibility program, we did a presentation, and we didn't want to pick on a Berkeley site because we wanted people from Berkeley to come.
Right.
So we reviewed the Stanford homepage, and the Stanford homepage had a search field that visually on the screen said "go" after you typed in the search, but had "submit" to the screen reader.
Okay.
And so this is why we call it Stanford rule, just to kind of give you a brief.
No, that's awesome.
But the real reason why this is actually a bad thing is because you as an instructor would say to the blind student,
Yes.
click on more, and more doesn't exist, and I could look for the word, and it wouldn't be there. And I'm agreeing with you that it's probably where the Twitter is, because it was right after Twitter, and we saw the tweet from Tiffany. So I'm just going to keep going down.
http://network.com/2012/10/08/flip-love-affair/.
So there's something about flip love affair where the URL is expanded out and there's no alt tag on there.
That I think is in the Twitter
I
module.
think that's okay.
Network. Number into tweet number into mod
Yeah, it is.
help. Privacy policy. Terms of Facebook, Twitter.
Good. Okay, so really the only problem is the Twitter module.
Yay!
So the links, we passed all of our links. Really nice.
Escape. View all courses. One link. Escape.
Okay, so I am now.
Tab. Assignments link.
I'm going to now pull up the graphics list really quickly.
Select the form field dialog. Escape. Escape. Assignments link.
How do I pull up graphics list?
Start. Escape.
Oh, I just told it to label all the graphics. That was just silly of me.
Graphics labeler dialog. Label. Edit. Escape.
I don't want to label the graphics.
Control G. History. Feeds. Feeds preview. Feeds free and escape. Assignments link.
Okay, so I can't pull up
Tab.
the
Grades
graphics.
link.
So I'm just going to navigate by graphics.
G. Grades link. Tab. Calendar link. Calendar link. Escape. Escape. Off.
So it keeps doing that to me where I have to do this.
On. Immersion teaching with heading level 2 graphic ACRL immersion logo blue waves on the white background.
So when you turn that off, does it take you back to the top of the page?
No, that's where it was, luckily.
Immersion
Okay.
heading level 2 graphic ACRL immersion logo blue waves on the white background.
Okay.
Wait, Lucy, we got some audio interference again.
Okay. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, so the ACLU logo.
ACRL.
Sorry.
Wrapping to top. Heading level 2 graphic ACRL immersion logo blue waves on the white background.
Really, how much of that information is important?
Only immersion logo.
Yeah. So the alt tag is just a little too verbose on that.
Okay, so cut alt text, because I have a tendency to like seriously go for it. So I will.
The rule of, well, I mean, you can actually leave it. I would leave it as is. It's not a problem. It's just that if it's providing a message, give the message.
Got it. Got it.
Link graphic CC by NCND.
CC by CCND. What the?
That would be our lovely Creative Commons embedded graphic, and that's actually kind of awesomely an aspect of creating a site in Canvas is they give you the ability to, set your own CC, Creative Commons license, but they feed in their little graphic. So if that graphic isn't tagged well, I can also report that.
The only reason I would ask that graphic to be tagged is I would ask it to be spelled out. The acronym,
Spelled out, okay.
As you hear.
Link graphic and structure. Make link graphic CC by NCND.
CC by NCND. So,
Got it.
yeah.
So one of my suggestions to them to be when they feed in these little graphics for Creative Commons that are, super common, that they spell out what the acronyms of the various parts of the license means. Okay.
Or, again, the same message. Give the message you're trying to give. This is a Creative Commons license.
Okay. So it needs that as well. So not just the confusing things, but not CC and D, blah, 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 but Creative Commons, no derivative, blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
Link graphic and structure. Makers of the open source learning management system Canvas.
So they've got theirs. That's no problem. Of course not, right? The inspector.
Wrapping the top. Heading level.
So good. So all your graphics on this page are really logos and information. And you know, some people completely leave those out. These are fine. I think all the ones that you've labeled, you know, as long as the label tells you what you're trying to say, that's fine.
Immersion Teaching with Technology
Okay, so now I'm
2013.
going to just check your heading structure.
Heading list dialog. Heading. Recent changes. Common pages. 3.
The very first heading
Home. Common pages. 3.
is common pages at an H3 level.
That's the first heading on the whole page?
That's the first heading on the whole list.
Recent changes. 3.
Recent changes at level 3.
All pages. 3.
All pages level 3.
Recent feedback. 3.
Recent feedback level 3.
Immersion Teaching with Technology 2013. 1.
So your main page title is a heading level 1. So if a person came to this page, I think we will test this as soon as I get out. I just want to report to you what the rest of these headings are.
Immersion Teaching with Technology 2013. 2. ACRL Immersion logo blue waves on the white background. TwT ACRL Immersion Teaching with Technology 2013. 2. Number into 2013. 1.
Okay, so you have a heading level 1 at the very bottom of the page?
Hmm.
Nothing else below it?
That may be, again, the Twitter, the widget.
Ace number into 2013. 1.
You're correct, it is within Twitter because it's got a hashtag in front of it.
Okay.
Okay, but that's, again, something you can't control, so.
Okay, so that should be a 3 or below.
So the first 3 headings are at level 3.
Okay.
There's an H1 and then there's a bunch of H2s.
Okay.
Librarians, please. How many books do you know start with chapter 3?
Well, Lucy, you'll be happy to hear
Yes.
that those H3s are actually that that kind of secondary navigation part.
Okay.
So that, you know, unfortunately is hardwired in.
Okay. All right. So let me go to the top of the page again.
Escape. Calendar link. Off. On. Immersion Teach same page with.
Okay. So I'm going to hit 1 to bring me to the first H1 on the page, just to confirm that it does bring me to where we want it to bring me.
Immersion Teaching with Technology 2013 heading level 1.
Yes. So the screen reader does still recognize it as the first heading on the page, so we're good.
Flag. Lindsay course stream.
All right. So now we're going to go through here. See course stream.
Flag. Heading level 2 Immersion Teaching with Technology 2013. Last edited by Char Booth 6 minutes ago. Flag. Heading level 2. Heading level 2 graphic ACRL immersion logo. Heading level 2 TwT ACRL immersion teaching with technology 2013. Flag. Welcome to the first ever immersion teaching with technology program, TwT for short. The following learning outcomes.
I'm just going through this element by element right now.
Sure.
So when you hear the pauses, it's because I have to hit the down arrow again.
Flag. List of 3 items. Bullet utilize reflection and dialogue in order to foster a critical approach to instructional technology applications. Flag. Bullet develop a personal technology literacy framework that emphasizes practicality and accessibility in order to integrate outcomes-based instructional technology into teaching and learning. Flag. Bullet integrate instructional design methodology in one's teaching practice in order to create learner-focused, engaging, and innovative instructional experiences.
Okay, so the good content here. I mean, the content's laid out nicely. I mean, the heading is a little choppy, but there's a lot of information in that heading too. You know, I'd say this passes. The reason you were hearing a blank line between each bullet point is because I was navigating by arrow key. If I just read from top down, you wouldn't hear a blank, but it's actually giving me the hard return that's in there. I mean, if you had control, which I know you don't in this case, you know, I would use CSS to style that as a list instead of having it, you know, typed in manually.
Okay.
So now we're going to move to your task list. Yay, we've made it to the task list.
So we passed. I'm relieved.
Well, and this is literally the inspection. This is
Okay,
literally, you
great.
know, how do we inspect for the things that we know everybody screws up.
Sure.
All right, so starting with number 1 was find week 1, was it not?
Yes, so we had find, where are they? Navigate to the week's 1-2 module and review the content of the Diffusion of Innovation graphic.
Okay, so my only comment before I even start to do this is that all of your weeks are called week.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to jump to the to the links list.
No links.
Ah!
Off for all applications. On. No links. Off. Z on. No links. Escape. Tab. Home link. Links list dialog. Links.
Sorry, I had to fight it there again with the stupid thing. So it does send refreshes constantly to the program. I'll talk to Canvas to figure out what's going on because that's driving me crazy.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to hit W because that's going to bring me to week.
W week 5. W week 4. W week 3. W week 5. Reflect overview. W week 4. Engage overview. W week 3. Structure overview. W week 5. Reflect overview.
There is no week 1, 2.
Okay. This is a great thing for us to note. The weeks are coming up in common pages as kind of being automatically fed in, and those common pages are ones we've been working on.
Yep.
But the way I've phrased the task, that's of course what you're going to look for first.
Ah.
So if I say navigate to the weeks 1, 2 module and review, if I flipped it around and said navigate to module week 1, 2, would that make your task more straightforward?
C.
M more dot 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 M more dot 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 M modules list.
Okay, so first of all, I want to point out that there are 2 links on the page that say more.
Okay.
More what is my question?
One of them's more common pages.
M modules list. M my dashboard. M modules. M more dot dot dot.
Do you want me to move to it and find out what it is?
Yeah, from your view, I'd
Tab.
love
Move the
to.
link button. Enter more dot 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 link. Escape.
Ah, it's done it again.
Off. On. List end. Link more dot dot dot. Link week 3. Structure of link commitment to access. Link more dot dot dot.
So it is more. It's in the common pages,
Yeah, that's what's
and it's
happening.
saying more dot dot dot. It really should say more pages.
More pages. Got it.
Yeah, it's okay to use the word more if you tell me what more is coming up.
Link list dialog. M more dot dot dot. Tab. Move the link button. Space. More dot.
And let's look at what the other one is.
Tab. Show all dot dot dot. Shift tab. More dot 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 link. Off. On. Link badges. Link more dot dot dot. List end. Blank. List end. Link more link badges. Link diffusion of innovation infographic test.
Okay, diffusion of information, graphic test,
Link badges.
badges,
Link more dot dot dot.
and then there's more after that. What instead of dot dot dot, it should be more changes.
More changes. Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to now go
Links
to
list dot. M modules list.
modules list. I'm going to hit enter on that.
Enter. Modules list link. Link my dashboard. List of 5 items. Course modules heading left blank. To change the order of the course modules and module items, first turn the cursor off to select the first module. To change the order of the course modules and module items, first turn the cursor off on your screen reader. Insert Z in JAWS. Press tab. To select the first module, press up and down to choose a module or module item. Press space to select the module or module item to start. Dragging, then press up and down to select the destination. Then press space a second time to drop selection after destination. Graphic drag to reorder modules. Drag to reorder modules.
Aha, and now we see why they're using ARIAS, because they have implemented. And I bet the 2 of you didn't see any of that I just read. Don't see any of that on the page at all, did you?
No, but it was interesting to hear the navigation it was suggesting.
It's doing exactly what I've been doing to fight the application mode. So this has definitely got an application mode issue going on.
Graphic incomplete. Welcome and pre-work for June 28th face-to-face session. List of 2 items. Link hide module contents. List end. Drag to reorder or move item to a graphic incomplete. Context module subheader. Pre-assignments. Drag to reorder or move item to another module.
That's really annoying.
Graphic incomplete. Assignment. Link pre-assignment 1 edit your profile. June 21. Drag to reorder or graphic incomplete. Discussion topic. Link pre-assignment 2 self-intro. Links.
I'm
W. Pre-assignment 2. Ali, Moha, Mishra, P. Rose, D. Dot. Run, EDA. C. Student progress for it. Hide module contents. C. Run, EDA. C. Hide module. Face-to-face morning. Face-to-face afternoon icebreaker.
What's the name of the first module?
Well, the first module that you saw was the welcome and pre-work. You're currently in the second module, face-to-face session
Yep.
at annual.
So what is the one I'm looking for?
The weeks 1 through 2, understand.
Okay, so W in the links list isn't bringing anything up. U in the links list is not bringing up anything.
What's happening is that it's just a header at the top of the module. I don't think the module is a link.
Escape.
The module title itself.
Okay.
Wrapping the top. Wrapping the top. Course modules heading level 2. Blank.
There is only one heading on this page, which is the course modules page.
So Lucy, you were gonna find the weeks 1 to 2 immediately after the last, kind of like you were paging down.
Okay.
And you were gonna run into it, but it took you so many page downs to get through modules 1 and 2.
Exactly.
And you're saying that there's no headers at all?
There's no navigation assistance here. Let me try for ARIA regions.
Content information. Link graphic and structure. Link help. Link privacy policy.
There's no structural navigation here at all.
Wow, that's really
That
problematic.
can help. So, let me see.
Link Facebook. Wrapping the top. Link inbox. Link courses. Customized. Visited link immersion course directory.
Okay, I'm just futzing right now to see if I can find shortcuts you can give your students.
Graphic and complete. Welcome and please list of 2 link 5 module contents. List end. Drag to reorder or move item to another module. Graphic and complete. Context pre-assignment. Drag to reorder or graphic assignment. Link pre-assigned Jun. Drag to reorder of Jun 21. Link pre-assignment 1. Edit your profile. Jun 21. Must contribute to the content of the page. Jun 26. Link pre-assignment 3. Scope your project. Assignment. Link Jun 20. Drag to graphic context mod readings. Drag to reorder or move graphic and external URL. Link alive mode blank. Drag to reorder graphic and context module sub boost. C 2011 6 Drag to reorder or move item to another module.
Structural help I can give a person with this one at all.
Graphic and complete. Attachment. Link Mishra P and color M.
So what do you think the first item within week 1 is for a link?
Diffusion of innovation infographic.
Links list D. Diffusion of innovation infographic test.
Okay, so a person can use the links list and find that. So if you as an instructor know the first link, you can tell the blind person to go to that link.
Tab. Move the link button space. Diffuse wiki page. Graphic and complete. Drag to reorder graph wiki page. Link diffusion of innovation infographic test.
Oh, in fact, it's not only there's no separation, there's nothing that tells me I've moved to a new module.
Drag to reorder or move graphic and complete. Discussion topic. Link reading reflections weeks 1 2.
Oh, reading reflections weeks 1 2. There it is.
Discussion link reading reflect Joel 2. Drag to reorder or move item to another module. Graphic and complete.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to open the links list and hover over it a bit so the two of you can look at this in the video later.
Okay.
Links list dialog. Links list view. Reading reflections weeks 1 2.
Giving it about a second here because I don't want to take it off the screen too quickly for you. And there we go.
Escape and complete.
So these expand and collapses might help, but I'm not sure really how to use them. Okay, so I found the weeks 1 2. Do we want to look at the
Drag to reorder of Joel 2. Link reading reflections weeks 1 2.
We don't want to do the reading reflection.
Discussion graphic and complete.
I think take a look at the infographic because that could be potentially
Link
problematic.
diffusion of innovation infographic test.
Okay, well that's our next task anyways. So I'm
Yeah.
going to click on that.
Enter. Diffusion of innovation infographics test visited link. Diffusion of innovation infographics test immersion teaching with technology 2013. Diffusion of innovation infographics test immersion teaching with technology 2013 same page link. Skip the content same page link. Entering 6 regions, 3 headings and 49 links. Content information end.
Okay, so there's I'm going to just move to the first heading on the page.
Wrapping the top common pages heading level 3. Recent changes heading all pages heading level 3. Wrapping the top common pages.
Oh, so the 3 headings on this page, common pages, recent changes, and
Recent change all pages heading level.
all pages.
So it's the same. It's just the same problem.
But there's
Page.
there's no heading that brings me to the content that's actually this.
Diffuse same page link. Skip the content.
So I'm going to use the skip to content link.
Enter. Skip the content link. Enter. 6 regions, 3 edit. Last edited by Travis at Soul.
Okay, the skip to content at least works.
Blank. Link links to an external site. Blank. Infographic. Diffusion of innovation. Blank. Graphic infographic for diffusion of innovation. Blank. Diffusion of innovation. Blank. The purpose of this infographic is to explore the diffusion of innovation theory developed by Everett Rogers, understanding what impacts the success or failure of adoption can inform any new initiative you plan to undertake. Land. Rogers defined diffusion as the process in which innovation is communicated through certain channels over time among the members of a social system. Land. 5 types of adopters. Land. List of 5 items. Bullet innovators. Of the change agent team. Bullet early adopters.
So the graphic itself, I'm assuming is what I skipped over that just called itself infographic.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm assuming you're describing it below here now?
Yes, it's a verbatim.
Okay. It's perfectly acceptable.
Great.
I've done it the right way.
Okay. Would a more obvious header on this page, on the content area of this page, be useful?
Yes.
Okay.
Right above, so there, that should really be where an H1 is.
Okay, so that should be our H1. And so when we want to draw people, because those H3s, those right-hand navigation things, the common pages, the recent pages, those are H3s. So in order to funnel people towards the content, we need to have an H1 and or H2 in our content areas. Is that about accurate?
Exactly.
Okay, so we want to get people away from those H3s by prioritizing H1s and 2s in the areas we want them to see.
Exactly. And it really is a priority because
Mm-hmm.
the 3s are supplemental information.
Okay. Because I didn't realize that every page wasn't being automatically assigned an H1. You know what I'm saying? Like in the breadcrumb in its own characterization. I assumed that that's what they were doing.
You would think so. Now there is the skip to main content, but since headings became a useful tool for a screen reader user, I rarely use skip to main contents because 3 quarters of the time they're not programmed properly anyways. They just go nowhere. So I mean, it's just my experience that I'll use a heading structure, and people will use ARIA structure. So let me try and use the ARIA structure.
Diffusion.
I'm going to try and
Main navigation link courses. Context navigation region. Complement breadcrumbs main region. Link page history. Last edited by TwT2013.
Okay, so the main region is actually where that goes. So that landmark is coming at your content.
Okay.
So that's good, but again, very few people know how to use ARIA landmarks yet.
Okay. Do you think that that's going to become more common method of navigation?
As people start using it properly, absolutely.
Okay, good. So even though it's a little bit frustrating, hopefully it'll be something that is a common curve adoption.
Exactly, yeah.